First things first, we're gonna get ourselves some strawberries and we're gonna cut off the hair, okay? We are only interested in the strawberry bodies today, alright? So anything else in the trash. Okay, cool. Now using a small knife or a spoon, hollow out the inside of the strawberries like this. Let that vibe out on the side. Now we're gonna work on our filling, which is a little bit of cream cheese, some confectioner sugar, some vanilla extract, and I always use double the amount needed because I already have 6 cavities, alright? 7 doesn't sound too bad. Mix until thoroughly combined and try it out to see if you like it, you know what I'm saying? If you like it, take your filling and put into the strawberry on some cream pie vibes. Repeat that process with the other strawberries, and for our toppings, we're gonna use graham crackers. These are literally my favorite crackers in the whole entire world, bro. Mwah. Dip your strawberries into the crushed crackers, and that's pretty much it. Yo, this cooking stuff is easy. Just toss it into the fridge until the cream sets, and we're done. I bought all my groceries today at Trader Joe's because the founder of Trader Joe's recently just passed away. What a legend, bro. We're gonna have to pour one out for the homeboy real quick. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And honestly, it doesn't really matter how much you use. A little bit of salt and pepper. Give it a good mix, and now we're gonna coat our wings. And today I'm using party wings because smaller wings hit different. You ever go to a wing spot and the drumsticks be looking like a dinosaur leg? That shit cannot be natural. Anywho, once the chickens are coated, we're gonna take them out and fry them outside. It was a beautiful day, so why not? Fill your pot with oil, medium-high heat, and once your oil reaches about 350 degrees, we're gonna toss our chickens right in and fry for about 10 or 12 minutes or until they're golden brown like this. Once our chicken is done, we're gonna let it vibe out on the side. Now it's time to make our sauce, which is just melted butter and lemon pepper seasoning. Take the sauce and pour it all over our wings. Give the wings a couple shakes. Boing, boing. Look at my face, look. Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. Throw it on a plate. Add some parsley. A couple slices of lemon to be bougie. Let's get it! It really doesn't get any better than this, alright? Aha. You don't gotta go to a specific wing spot where you try to order. They're like, name, make this at home. This cooking shit is easy. First things first, get yourself a waffle maker, plug it in, and turn it on to the max. Then get yourself some cinnamon rolls and make sure that it says grand on the box, okay? Lay it out, and it already comes with icing, but I'm gonna make my own because I've never made icing before, so this is my chance. Once your waffle maker is heated, we're just gonna spray it down with some butter spray. Take your cinnamon roll and put it straight smack us into the middle of the waffle machine, and we're just gonna cook for 2 to 3 minutes or until it's golden brown. Let that just vibe out on the side, and for our icing, we're gonna need approximately half a box of cream cheese. Boom. A little bit of powdered sugar, a couple tablespoons of maple syrup, and I'm using sugar-free because I'm trying to stay healthy. And lastly, a tad bit of almond milk. I gave it a mix, and that shit came out looking like some chunky milk, So I busted out my hand mixture to get a more even consistency, and it turned out pretty good. Okay, cool. Plate your waffle and just drizzle your icing all over. And that's pretty much it. This cooking stuff is easy. Ahaha. Cinnamon rolls have a soft spot in my heart because I would always go to the mall, but I could never afford them, so I would just steal like 10 samples, you know? Get yourself some rotini pasta, and we're just gonna cook it in some salty boiling water. Meanwhile, we're gonna cut up some garlic. I'm using this much. Once the pasta is done cooking, go ahead and scoop it out, but remember to keep 1 cup of that pasta juice. Once you have your garlic, your pasta juice, and your pasta, it's time to cook, baby. Let's go. Olive oil in the pan, throw in your garlic, and we're just gonna saute it until it's aromatic. Now we're gonna add First things first, get yourself a can of crescent rolls. In 1 can, you're gonna get about 8 pieces, right? Cut each piece into 3. 8 times 3 is 52, so you're gonna end up with that many pieces total, okay? Moving on, I got myself some mini cocktail sausages, and we're gonna roll them onto the dough from the thick side to the skinny side. Bro, I came out the womb rolling spring rolls, so this shit was easy. Anywho, transfer onto a baking tray and let it vibe on the side until we get some butter. Melt the butter and brush it all over our rolls. This is my mom, a 5-time convicted felon of stealing my food. Now for the top. If you're Caucasian, put your hands up. If you know the seasoning, say what's up, what's up. Ooh. Everything but the big old seasoning sprinkled on top. And we're gonna bake these in the oven at 375 for about 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Take them out and we're gonna plate it. Add just a little bit of parsley, butter spray just to make it look shiny. And that's pretty much a wrap. That's how I made pigs in a blanket. Look at this shit. Newton in a blanket. Okay, first things first, get yourself a big ass bowl and some instant coffee. Into the bowl, we're gonna throw in equal parts coffee, white sugar, and hot water. water. Now I do not have a hot water dispenser, so I had to boil it manually. It took a bit longer, but that's okay because bitch, we are in quarantine. Once you have everything in there, get yourself a hand mixer, and we're just gonna beat our mixture until it's like a light caramel brown. I decided to add more sugar just because I'm an asshole and I like my coffee sweet. Once you get something like this, try it out to see if you like it. If you do, let that vibe on the side and get yourself a cup and some almond milk. Boom, milk in. I didn't have ice at home, so I got myself some McDonald's ice in. And finally, you pour the froth on top. Ooh, this barista shit is easy. JK. If you really think about it, this is really just like a reverse latte. You know what I mean? It was pretty good. But what I did was I took my cookie, dunked it in there, ate the cookie, and that, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary individuals, hits different. Let's go. This is me wanting to go outside, but I can't because first things first, get yourself a little bit of garlic and you want to mince that up. And do the same thing with some parsley. Okay, cool. Next up, I stole one lemon from my neighbor's tree. I zested it the outside because we're gonna use that later. And for the actual lemon, we are gonna squeeze the juices into the bowl because bitch, we are gonna be in hard times. We cannot let anything go to waste, okay? Get yourself some pasta and cook it accordingly to the package instructions. Once the noodles are finished, we're gonna take it out and now it's time to get to work. Big ass pan, medium heat, boom, multiple cubes of butter. Throw in your garlic and saute it until it smells good. And then we're gonna add some peeled and deveined shrimp, alright? I left the tail on because it looks cool like that. Anywho, we're gonna season with some pepper, lemon zest, always parsley, lemon juice, and some crushed red peppers. Let's go, baby! Give it a good mix, toss in your pasta, mix it one more time, and we are gonna taste it, alright? This is where you wanna adjust for salt. And that's pretty much it. This cooking shit is easy. Plate it and top it off with some parsley. Day 5 of quarantine. I know you miss Olive Garden. Ah, me too. But guess what? This is pretty close. First things first, we're gonna get ourselves some clean Rousseau potatoes, and we're literally just gonna bake them in the oven at 350 degrees for 1 hour. Now, since we have a long time to wait, we're gonna cook ourselves some bacon. Now that I think about it, I could've just microwaved this. Anyways, cut them up into little pieces, and now we're gonna focus on our filling, which is pretty much just sour cream, milk, a little bit of butter, smoked it cheddar cheese, salt, pepper, and some green onion. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once your potatoes are done, let them vibe out for a little bit because they're hella hot. Cut them in half, and we're gonna scoop our potato guts out into our bowl. I'm pretty sure I burnt off all my fingerprints, but that's okay because at least the government can't track me now. Mix everything in the bowl until it's nice and smooth, and taste a bit of it to see if you like it. If you do like it, we're gonna put our potato mixture back into our potato skins, give it top it off with some more cheese and bacon, and bake it for another 15 minutes or until the cheese melts. Ooh, the love of my life, parsley! And that's pretty much it. This cooking shit is what? Easy. Ahaha. Your store might be out of toilet paper, but I bet you they still have potatoes. According to today's menu, we're making pizookies. A little bit of melted butter into a big ass bowl along with some brown sugar, 1 large egg, and a little bit of vanilla extract in. Give that a mix until it looks something like peanut butter. Honestly, I could just stop right here and just eat this batter, but we're gonna add some flour, then add a little of salt and baking soda, and combine everything together until it's smooth. What? We're just gonna go ahead and ignore that clip. Once you have something that looks like this, it's time to incorporate our chocolate. And in a mini cast iron skillet that I got at why is that so hard for me to say? Bed Bath & Beyond. There you go. Throw your dough in, and we're gonna bake it in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes. See? Do you guys see my issue with chocolate chips? They're way too perfect and circular. That shit is weird. Top the cookie off with some vanilla ice cream. And since I'm an overachiever, I added some chocolate syrup and some dulce de leche. This baking shit is easy. You got a hot cookie and some cold ice cream. Amazing. I know all the dentists watching this right now are like, heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. First things first, we're gonna start off with a Korean pear. What's the difference between this pear and an American pear? This one has a universal healthcare system. We're gonna grate half of it into a bowl and then add some soy sauce, brown sugar according to your taste, sesame oil, and some garlic that we're gonna press because it's faster than mincing it. Along with that, we're also gonna throw in some ginger, and lastly, some gochujang, which is a Korean spicy paste, but it's not that spicy though. Mix that up and just let it vibe on the side. And now we're gonna work on our meat. Yeah! This is just some ribeye that I froze for an hour so that it's easier to cut. And we're gonna cut them into thin slices like they usually are at Korean barbecue spots. All we have to do now is marinate it, throw it in the refrigerator, and come back after a few hours. The longer you wait, the more flavor it will have. But if you're hungry, just make it right now. It's not a big deal. A little bit of oil in a pan, medium-high heat, and just cook it like you would cook anything else. For me, I like that charred meat taste, so I burnt it on purpose. And yeah, add some parsley. And that's pretty much it. This cooking shit is what? Easy! I'm pretty sure we can all agree that there's no better feeling than having meat in your mouth. Wait, pause. First things first, we're gonna get ourselves a big ass bowl and crack an egg in there, a little bit of milk, give that a mix, and just let that vibe on the side. Damn, this video is kinda going fast. In a separate bowl, we're gonna add flour, baking powder, salt, crushed red peppers, and Italian seasoning, and we're gonna combine the two bowls to make a, I don't even know what you would call this. Is this considered a dough? Anyways, we're gonna cut up some pepperoni. Personally, I cut mine into quarters, but you can do whatever you want. Moving on, we're gonna add two different types of cheese, which is just mozzarella and parmesan, and you're gonna end up with something like this. It kind of looks like chunky baby food right now, but that's because we're not done. We're gonna scoop the mixture into a cupcake pan, about 50% of the way. Add some more ronies on top and throw them in the oven at 375 degrees for about 15 minutes or so. Oh, and the crowd goes wild. Throw on some parsley, and that's pretty much it. Now you can eat this with a side of marinara, or you can eat it dry. These remind me of the ones that my mom used to make for me when I was a kid. Psych, she never made me this. When I was a kid, all I ever ate was mama ramen noodles. Don't let the straw hat fool you, she's evil. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is make our marinade, which is really just balsamic vinegar, honey, a little bit of brown sugar, delicious light soy sauce, and to make it more healthy, we're gonna add some garlic and ginger. Yes, ginger. Today we're using motherfucking roots. Mix that up, and we're gonna get ourselves some chicken drumsticks. Buy your chicken at Walmart because it's cheap. Are they injected with steroids? I mean, probably, but we're not gonna complain. Let the chicken vibe with the marinade for at least 4 hours. Once you're hungry, throw the chicken onto a baking rack, and we're gonna bake these in the oven at 400 degrees for about an hour. Do not throw away the marinade, okay? We're gonna boil our marinade for at least 15 minutes to get rid of the salmonella, and we're just gonna brush it on our chicken every 15 minutes. Listen, I know what you're thinking. This is way too much work. I mean, you have a point, but trust me. I will always love you. Come on. Top it off with some sesame seeds and some parsley. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will say though, I would recommend you marinate this chicken for at least 24 hours up until like 5 minutes before the chicken expires. First things first, get yourself some stale bread. Take it very hard. This bread is very hard. Anyways, we're gonna cut off the crust, and this is strictly for the aesthetic. These are gonna end up in a shitload of sugar anyways, so they're gonna taste exactly the same. Cut them into sticks and let them vibe on the side. And in a separate bowl, we're gonna combine some egg, almond milk, or whatever milk you have. Anything but soy milk, because that shit tastes like some toes. A pinch of salt and vanilla extract. Give that a mix until it's combined. And now we're gonna make our cinnamon sugar. Basically, white sugar and cinnamon at a ratio of 8 to 1, aka the ratio of guys to girls at every frat party ever. Okay, in a pan on medium heat, we're gonna melt some butter. Lightly coat your breadsticks in the mixture and throw it in the pan. Make sure you don't soak it though, or else it will come out limp. And we're gonna cook it on each side until it's golden brown like this. Throw it straight into the sugar, mix it up a little bit, and that's pretty much it. Let's go! Throw it onto a plate, serve it with some syrup. And yeah, next time you have some stale bread laying around, what are you gonna do? Go feed some birds? Hell no! All birds do is poop on your car and chirp whenever you're trying to sleep. Go ahead and make this instead. Chef's kiss. Mwah! According to today's menu, we are gonna make some fried rice. This is a freestyle recipe just straight off my forehead. We're gonna start off by cutting some garlic and green onion, as well as some Chinese sausage. You can use any other meat as well, but if you even think about using hot dogs, get the fuck. Moving on, we're gonna need some peas, scrambled eggs, and day-old rice. Newton, can I use fresh rice? I mean, I suppose, but it's gonna end up making the dish gummy and not as good. Throw your rice into a pan with some oil and cook it until it's warm and sticky like this. Take it out and just let it vibe on the side. And now it's time to saute our vegetables, which is gonna be our garlic and peas. Boom, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then throw in your meat and your rice. Okay, cool. We're also gonna add soy sauce and just give it a mix until it's a nice mahogany color. And for the eggs, you don't wanna pour it on top of the rice, okay? That's a rookie mistake. You wanna cook it a little bit on the side first and then mix it in. A nub of butter and some green onion. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're missing one thing and one thing only, alright? Parsley! Bro, I was watching Tory Lane's IG live earlier and I never wanted to be a gummy worm so bad. Ha! On today's menu, we're making garlic knots. Get yourself a can of biscuit dough and we're gonna cut each individual piece in half. Roll those bad boys out until they're about 5 inches long, which also happens to be the length of a fallopian tube. Anyways, we're gonna have to tie these into knots. Just imagine like you're tying your shoes, you know? Repeat the steps until you don't have any more dough. Let that just vibe on the side while we work on our topping. A little bit of unsalted melted butter, table salt, Italian seasoning, we have some parsley in there, garlic powder, and some fresh Parmesan cheese. Do not use pre-grated cheese because they just don't melt. I think it has something to do with the preservatives. Anyways, we're gonna take a brush and brush the butter onto our knots, and you should get something that looks like this. Whoa, kind of like dumplings. Throw them into the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. Take them out, and yeah, not gonna lie, these came out the oven kind of ugly. Anyways, we're just gonna plate them, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I'm not one to biscuit shame, but the biscuits at Red Lobster, But these though, this one's just built different, man. Just truly spectacular. And these fit perfectly in your mouth. On today's menu, we're making banana bread. Get yourself some really ripe bananas. The darker the banana, the sweeter the juice. Wait, mash them really good with a fork, and then we're gonna add some eggs and cannoli oil. Give that a mix and just let it vibe on the side, and now we're gonna work on our dry ingredients. The usual suspects, flour and sugar, baking soda, and a little bit of salt. And today, we have a special ingredient. Yeah, psych? But no, seriously, we're using vanilla jello pudding. I have never— Shut the fuck up, I'm recording, damn! Moving on, combine the two bowls and gently fold them together, okay? Do not overmix. Now, I love chocolate, so I'm gonna throw some in there. No, seriously, like, feel free to add anything you want. I've seen people add coconut, walnut, any kind of nut. Take your banana bread mixture and pour it into a bread tray and bake it at 325 degrees for about 1 hour. Once you can poke it with a toothpick and it comes out clean, we are pretty much done. This baking shit is easy. The bread came out more moist than me after sitting on a barber chair for 1 hour, you know? And that's pretty moist. Add some ice cream on top if you're feeling crazy. First off, get yourself some deveined and deshelled jumbo shrimp and let that vibe on the side while we make our Cajun seasoning, which is pretty much onion powder, paprika, oregano, garlic powder, salt, cayenne pepper, red pepper, black pepper. Or you can just buy Cajun seasoning at the store. Save yourself some time, you know? Anyways, we're gonna use half of the seasoning on our shrimp, and the other half we're gonna save for our rice, which we're gonna wash because there could be all different types of debris and insect poop in there. Once you have your rice, your seasoning, your shrimp, we're gonna throw some butter into a pan on medium heat and simply cook our shrimp for about 2 minutes on each side or until it's opaque all the way through. Once we're finished with that, we're gonna saute some garlic and butter. Once our garlic is a little bit brown, we're gonna add in our seasoning and our rice and a little bit of chicken broth, which is crazy to me because I always make my rice with water, but this sounds like a good idea. Cover with the lid and let it simmer for about 15 minutes or maybe even longer if you want crispy rice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Throw your shrimp on top, a little bit of parsley. Just a simple, easy, quick recipe. And it's actually really healthy too. Just ignore all the butter that we use.